nobody actually advised me to have the surgery. Basically, I was in the hospital for a week in March with a flare-up, switched medications, was doing great for 2 months, then was in a really bad flare-up in the hospital for another week in July, and I was just in a flare-up for months and months and months, and then I was on really high dose prednisone. It wasn't doing anything. I was just getting so sick. My symptoms were so bad. I was having a fever every day. I was throwing up. I was going to the bathroom like literally constantly. I could barely leave the house, and I was so weak and all that stuff, right? So I landed in the hospital again in October. And this time, like I was just getting so much worse. They had me on all these different medications, had to be on TPN because I wasn't absorbing anything. I could barely eat. And it was my mom. She was the one who first sat me down, and she was like, I know you might not want to hear this, but like, have you considered that maybe it's time to have surgery? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm scared. I don't know how life's going to be, whatever. So she obviously had the surgery. So, she kind of gave me her perspective on that. And then we kind of came up with a list of pros and cons for me personally to do it. And the list of pros was much significantly longer than the cons. So basically, my mom and I are the one who brought that up to my GI doctor. He like came in to do rounds or whatever. And I was like, I think I want to get surgery. And he was the first person who said to me, are you sure? Like, you're pretty young. I don't want to have to give you a stoma. You should be out enjoying your life, not worrying about surgery. And then I was like, you're very right. I should be out enjoying my life, but I've literally lost this entire year to colitis. Like, I've been in and out of the hospital. I've been so sick, haven't been able to do anything with friends or family. Like, I'm so done. I can't keep doing this. And his potential solution was to try another medication that might work in 3 to 4 months. And I really, truly did not think I had 3 to 4 months. I was rapidly losing weight. Like, I was just skin and bones. I could barely have the strength to like stand up and walk around. And it was just really bad. And I wanted to get out of the hospital. I was already there for a week and a bit and just torturous in the hospital, as I'm sure you know. So I really wanted to get out of the hospital. And I didn't think that that would be possible without surgery. So basically, he had a stoma nurse come talk to me and like, do an assessment, kind of explain things, make sure that I was like mentally knew what I was getting into, I guess. And then he came back and I was like, yeah, I really still don't want my intestine. Like, please take it out. I actually, like, I need you to take it out. I was basically begging at this point, which very interesting because that was always my worst fear when I was first diagnosed. And now I was at the point where I just like, I could not take it anymore. I'd already been through so many medications. And it was like, even if this does work for a bit, it probably won't work forever. I just had that perspective because everything else had failed.